It's a combination of Marvel and Apollo 11. He approached it as if it were 1965, taking inspiration from Stanley Kubrick. I'm really intrigued by this Fantastic Four movie.
Sure. I mean, it just gives us a peek behind the scenes of how they actually did the first moon landing.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic Four First Steps. There were some posters, some stills released this week, but that's not what I really want to talk about. I want to talk about the director of the movie kind of gave some, not spoilers, but I think laying out or giving us an idea of what to expect from this movie. So he says this idea is that they are the most famous people in America because they are adventurers, they being the Fantastic Four, explorers, astronauts, not because they're superheroes. And they come back and they're superheroes on top of that, but primarily they're astronauts, their family. So they're basically like celebrities, which we do see in some comics, right? Like early comics, they were treated as like, not like, the X-Men where they're mutants, we don't want them around. The Avengers had, they were great, but then they had issues with the government. Like Fantastic Four was like worship.
Right. Well, that's all Johnny, because he loves that spotlight stuff.
Yeah, he does. And then going on to break down more of what we can expect. Now, this is a 1960s inspired take on space. So they're saying it's not going to be like what we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy, like just this cosmic, insanity.
Right.
He really wanted to go for a grounded version of space. So no wormholes. Their tech is very much retro future. It's also booster rockets. It's a combination of Marvel and Apollo 11. Interesting that they also said that the way this was shot, he approached it as if it were 1965, taking inspiration from Stanley Kubrick, when they faked the moon landing. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They're talking about the Space Odyssey. No. But they built a 14-foot tall spaceship miniature. So using practical set designs and treating this more grounded for a space story, which hearing that, I'm really intrigued by this Fantastic Four movie.
Sure. I mean, it just gives us a peek behind the scenes of how they actually did the first moon landing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, now, the thing about that, Adrian, that was in like the 60s, right?
Dude, I mean, I heard this thing on TikTok. This guy was going on a rant. He's like, you mean to tell me, he's like some back country kind of talking accent.
Cousin
that,
Fuckers.
there you go. We back in the day when TVs were black and white, we were still rolling down windows on our cars.
Right.
We got more power in a greeting card today than all of NASA, and we took a couple of guys, put them on top of a bomb, pointed them toward the moon, shot them out, and got them there safely. Not only that, got them back.
Right. Well, you called them while they were there. You forget about that part.
And you called them while they was there,
on a rotary dial phone?
Yeah.
Okay, but it connected.
Exactly.
They had Verizon back then? Or?
T-Mobile.
They had T-Mobile.
But, so you're looking at the technology. We don't have the technology to do one thing, but we got the technology to do this other thing. And that's supposed to be believable?
Right.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. And why were we able to get people there in 1965, but ain't nobody going back?
Right. No. We're not going back because they destroyed all the technology that was involved in, delivering guys to the moon.
Okay.
That's why.
Makes perfect sense. We can send the internet through the sky invisibly, but we can't get back to them. Okay. All right. But, I mean, they did a great job filming that shit in Hollywood back then, dude. But basically, so those same effects they used to film that moon landing, they're going to treat Fantastic Four more grounded, which I like. I don't think we need to have this cosmic, they're out in, Titan and Saturn. Just, they were like going to the moon and shit and hit with these cosmic rays.
Sure.
Right. Which, so I like that.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, they also said that the director said this movie is pretty much a standalone. He obviously it's part of the MCU, but it takes place in their own universe, so it's not in the Earth 616 universe. Okay. And then he also says it was wonderful and liberating. There's really no other superheroes. So there might be a couple. There's no Easter eggs. There's no running into Iron Man or whatever. They're it in this universe. I love the interconnected Marvel universe, but we get to do something so new and so different. Eventually, this world will meet up with other worlds, but for now, this is our own little corner. The more I hear,
I'm liking that, dude.
Right?
I'm liking that.
I've not heard, and not glazing Marvel here, as people claim, there's nothing about this movie that I've heard yet from a rumor standpoint, from confirmed by that that makes me think it's going to be a failure.
Right.
There's nothing that I'm disinterested in, I guess.
Well, but they are incorrect in saying that there's no other superheroes.
Why? Who else is there?
Well, you got to have Silver Surfer.
True. But is that a
saying.
superhero?
Well, he's a
She.
anti.
Yeah.
Well, she's okay. Well, she, whatever. The Silver Surfer.
Yes.
Male or female.
Oh, someone also pointed that out about a gender swap, but this one really ain't a gender swap because it's just based off of a different Silver Surfer from the comics.
Sure.
You know, it's like, just like my point about Miles, if you pull Miles into the MCU, it's not a race swap. That's a different version of Spider-Man.
Right. Gender swapping is Peter Parker is white today, he's black tomorrow.
Well, that's race swapping.
Oh, wait a minute. I said
You
gender
said
swapping.
gender, yeah.
Race swapping is you got Peter Parker today, and then tomorrow he's black Peter Parker.
Yes.
If you got Norrin Rad, but then you substitute his wife and call her somebody else Rad, right?
Yep.
It's a different Silver Surfer.
Correct. Yeah. So it don't bother me, dude.
Right.
As long as she's Silver Surfer, you know what I mean? As long as she ain't like, Mary Poppins or some shit like that.